Wow, that was a good
That
one.
was slick. Well done, Steve. Slick as I don't know what.
I need to practice. I need to come on here and just
He's just put it to another level, hasn't he?
If I can just see it now, we'll just go live and just be loads of live streams of Greg and us just trying.
Anyway, welcome everybody. It's Monday. It's episode 20 of the second series of the Plastic Crack podcast. This week being hosted by me, Steve, from On Point HQ. Above me, we've got Dom from Boots on the Table with Dom. Up there, we've got Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and there is Martin from Seventh Son.
Hello.
How are we, chaps, on this painfully warm day?
Hot.
It's a bit warm, isn't it? It's lovely.
I'm quite
I have to say, I had to drag myself in from sitting in the garden with a beer to come in here and do this. I really did. Usually, I love doing this so much, but it's like, oh my god, it's so nice. I just want to sit out with the beer.
I before we came on, I said to Martin, I'm from the north. I'm not used to this. We don't get weather like this up north. This is this is strange weather.
It's biblical weather, isn't it, Steve?
Yes, it's going down in the diary. A day of sunshine all day. I know it's been a strange one, but welcome everybody. How is everyone? Are we all good?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, I am. I don't know about it.
Yeah, I think I am too. Yeah, it's been a good week.
I've got a
nice weekend
tomorrow.
Do you know? I really think we should start a whole petition about making it 3-day weekends every weekend. I just think it's just the way to go, really. Frankly,
we get enough momentum on the podcast if we can change anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, let's see who we've got in the chat. So we got Graham's Wargame Vault. We got
Hey, Graham.
SJMT 66. We got Ham and Jam, Louis Baby, Lionheart, Evil Jim Reaper.
Hello, Jim.
Philip Hyman. Is Philip a new one? I don't think we've seen Philip in it before.
No, not sure we have. Welcome, Philip.
Steve Harbour. He's got badges at the ready, apparently.
I have a Badger-related story to say later.
I have a Badger thing later as well.
Oh, lovely. We got Matt Wright, Grana Priego, Drew, Tenement Tabletop, Imaginary Conflicts. We got Meza, friend of General Haig, Christoph Geldof, Liam Adams, Old School FRP, Aled Roberts, Luke Farrell, Crossing Obstacles Gaming. We've got quite a few people in tonight. GP, Lazy Pirate Painting, Leslie's here.
Leslie.
Marky Sparky, Torbjorn, and Evil. Oh, we've got two Evil. We've got Evil Stew and Evil Jim Reaper.
Oh my god, they're taking over.
Who's more evil?
We should have an evil off, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
There's definitely an evil theme in the chat tonight.
Before we get going, I have to say about Drew. Did anyone see Drew's fantastic Zulu game? That he just showed, he's about to do a battle report, and I'm really, really unhappy with him because it probably means I'll end up buying loads of bloody Zulus.
I know
because the board he built was such an awesome thing. Absolutely,
I've been putting off buying that set since it came out, and I've always looked at it and gone, oh no, I'm not going to do it, and he's not helping.
No, he's not helping at all.
No.
Not at all.
There's a place down by me. A guy's selling one it's second hand, but it's all brand new, and I think he's selling it for £80 last time I looked.
Shut up, Ken.
There you go.
Just shut up.
Why haven't you bought it then?
Because I've got too much to paint. Too much.
That's a pretty good excuse. And if you saw the podcast last week, when Ken was showing off his finely painted Victory at Seas ships, I mentioned that I was debating whether or not to pick it up or not.
The debating was over, Steve.
It didn't last long, did it, Steve? It
didn't last long at all. And I've been through the rules, and seems very good. So tonight I'm building ships. Bit fiddly, I'll be honest. But I'm looking forward to painting them. So speaking of painting, what have we been up to the last week then, chaps?
I've not done too bad, to be fair. Dom's probably painted a fucking new army, but there we go.
Dom, do you go first?
Yeah,
I've just done 2 armies. That's all. Nothing much. Oh, hang on. Let me get out of this. I'm just trying to find a picture, but it's all right. It caught me, Steve. What have I done? I've done a reasonable amount this week. I can't show off one picture. So I've had 2 games. People have seen the Ken and I had a Victory at Sea game on Wednesday, I think it was, which was really good fun. Really good fun. So I can certainly say that rule system I'm going to enjoy immensely.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's really good fun. We played refight of the Battle of Denmark Strait. Because it was almost the anniversary when we did it, so we thought that would be the first thing to do, and we get the big ships out, and it was really good. So I won't go into that one, but I also managed to get Shaker and Bennett game out, which was an alfresco game, so watch out for that one. The Russians got a bit of a tonking, I have to say. Mind you, it's probably because they're out in the snow uniforms in what looks to be a very green and pleasant land. So that's probably why they got a tonking, but they did.
What's your thoughts on the system as a Napoleonic with Napoleonics? Or did you just feel like you were playing muskets and tomahawks, but just with a shaker?
Exactly that. To be honest, it is exactly that. It's not that different. There's a few little nuances. So they brought in some commander traits, which are really cool. So, like infantry commanders give you an extra move into contact if you want it, or distance into contact.
Yeah.
Militia commanders give you slightly better morale. So cavalry commanders do something else. Light infantry do something else. So that kind of is a bit of a nuance, which is nice. But then the national characteristics, some of them are quite good. Some of them are not so good. But the French seem to be very, very generously pointed, shall we say. You get an awful lot of French for your money, which is a bit unfair when someone doesn't want to play French. But yeah, it's a good system. But okay. I think I don't know. I'll play some more. I've only played 2 games so far, and I haven't done any of the scenarios yet. But I did enjoy it. I always enjoy it. Anytime you get Napoleonics out, it's good, right?
Yeah.
But it did make me do some more Napoleonics. So there you go. So I did some more
I love those guys. You sent a picture to us, and I really like those.
So that's more front ranks. I've done them up as Guard Jaeger, which you can have in the army list for Shakers and Bayonets. You can have, I think they call them elite guard snipers or marksmen or something like that. And I did actually use them in the last battle. So
were they elite?
Well, this is where the pointing comes in, right? So a unit of 6 of those costs more than a unit of voltigeurs, and yet they've only got the same stats. So, but you do have elite, and they are veteran as well. So, but they're okay. They're all right. They're about as good as it gets for the Russians for shooting, that's for sure. So I did a load of Russians just to make up for it. So that's the other 8. I showed 18 off last week. This is the other 18 all put together in a 36-man battalion. Oh, nice. So that's the Grenadiers finished off for the Black Powder army I'm working on now.
I like your basing, Dom. I don't know. I've noticed. I don't know if anyone I've been looking at your basing for a while. Everyone's basing. Your basing's just got a little bit. I don't know. It just got a little bit better, mate. I don't know. Yeah, no, it looks really nice. I love how you've spaced out the comp foliage and stuff like that, and the actual ground scatter looks really good. Really looks nice.
I just try and. To be honest, it's laziness. If I'm honest, it's because I used to mold all the bases with polyfiller and stuff like that to make them all nicely, so you couldn't see the pudding bases of the figures, and now I can't be asked with that. So I just liberally put PVA glue all over it and then dunk it in the Luke's APS basing material. I can't even remember which one this one is. It's probably a mixture of all over, but as you get leftovers, you chuck it all in. And then just tufts I place around just to sort of hide any shapes of the bases, really. And it just seems to work so quick as well.
No,
so
it's really nice, man.
Thank you.
I've done the same thing as you, though. Now, I used to buy just like one of the packs and just use that religiously. But now I'm like, if I do some static grass on my bases, I'll chuck that anything that's left over, because you always get stuff left in the static grass applicator. That goes in all different colours. So it just mixes in really well when you go to put it on there as well.
Although it's a bugger if you then come back to do extra figures from the same regiment and you want them to match. That's not so good.
That's why the completionist in me won't move on till they're done.
No, I'm the same. And I did this Russian horse artillery gun, which was actually a birthday present from Imogen.
That's cool.
My daughter.
That's
so I just knocked that up.
Really, really good.
Nice, man.
And I've got there is another 24-man Napoleonic battalion, which is not quite finished, so I won't show it yet because I want to see Martin and Ken's face when I unveil it, because it's going to just disgust them. So we're looking forward to showing that one off.
I feel like I've got an idea already now, just from that. A horrible feeling it's going to be a bunch of green jacketed little.
No. I've got loads of them, mate. I've got loads of them, so I don't need any more. No, this is. I think you'll be horrified by what I've done, but I've done it on purpose, and they look really good. I'm really pleased. I've done half the battalion of them, and the other half is almost done. So that'll be another 24 battalion done. So that's what I've been up to.
Very productive week all around there, Dom.
2 games and all that. I'm happy.
2 games, 40,000 figures. I mean, yeah.
Quiet week, Steve.
Just a quiet week for you, really. So, Ken, what have you been up to? Anything interesting? More Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I've been on holiday this week, which has been really nice. I've been away the whole weekend. But I did manage to obviously have a game with Dom, which was really nice. Check out his battle report for that over on his channel. But I managed, like you say, I've managed to finish off. Well, I've technically done 6 of these Jaegers. I'll show you one now, but they're not completely based, so I don't class them as being done. Where is it?
So looking sweet, Ken.
They're very nice,
very nice. Cool.
So they're for the Austrians. So I bought the Perry set, the Perry box deal, didn't I? So I got 3 boxes of inventory plus a commander for that price. And I'm doing a 36-man battalions. Okay, so I'm using the Battle of Wagram as like the order of battle, and I'm doing first corps. So I'm doing all the troops in first corps, and they're the Jaeger battalion in there. So instead of having these are just 36 line troops. Those are. I'm not putting a standard in there. I'm not putting a drummer. I'm not putting an officer or anything like that. I'm just gonna have 36 line troops based as that. Just because I don't want to spend an extra £6, whatever it is, to buy an officer's sprue and then have 6 left over. I don't want to do that, so I'm doing it that way. Sorry if you hate me for that, but that's how I'm doing it. And then I'm doing another 2 line battalions as well with that box. But actual painting wise this week, I managed to get some Urukai done.
Whom do you serve?
Lord of the Rings mags.
Cool.
I'm on magazine 5 now. I've released magazine 2 as a video. Oh, someone's got a phone.
Sorry. Yeah.
So
the other line, Ken. Sorry, I'm a busy man. Sorry.
Oh no, man, I know. So these are quite interesting to do. So the skin's all done with normal standard paints, which I actually blended to like a black and a brown together and made like reddish brown and made like the skin color, which I really liked. But the armor was really cool because I sprayed these originally with lead belcher. Then I went over with Black Templar. So that's dried in all the recesses, so for the contrast range. And then while it was all doing that, before I put any of the skin tones on, I dry brushed again with lead belcher. And it's giving it a really nice effect, especially on the
that's what I do for the sort of blackened armor on my Wars of the Roses stuff.
Yeah, it works really well, to be fair. And
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and if I wanted anything to be a little bit brighter, like the swords and stuff, I painted over again a bit heavier with a dry brush. But no, but the bases again, these guys, they come with, the old Games Workshop ones where they got the cutout.
Oh, yeah.
So what I've done is I base these separately. So because static grass are a nightmare to put on when you've actually got the figure on it to make it look nice anyway. So I put a bit of what's it called? Quick drying. Bloody hell! The clay stuff. You know what I mean?
Air dry clay.
Air dry clay, that's it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, air dry clay. So I put some air dry clay in the gaps and then cut the bottoms off, and then I just painted over it and then did like the dippy base like I said earlier on with the Luke's APS, but then you static grass on top, and I'm doing that with all the Lord of the Rings stuff, depending on what army they're in. So the only difference so far I've had to do is like the Moria Orcs. I've done them more on a stone base because they're in like the mines, So I want the theme to suit. But these guys are on the plains of Rohan, so that's how I've done these. And yeah, so that was my week.
Very nice.
Ah.
Yeah, it's cool. I do like the Urukai. I really do.
Yeah, they are nice,
very
man.
cool.
They're spears, because you see a lot on eBay of the broken spears, And because obviously they're quite easy to snatch, they're so long, so it's just keeping them nice and safe.
You haven't been tempted to replace them with all the stabby wire ones?
No, I have not. Not in the slightest.
I think your swear box the other week sort of put paid to anyone using metal pikes.
If that's ridiculous, if people go and watch the battle report, which has gone up today, funnily enough, my opponent had this unit of pike, and my unit charges it, and I just sort of, it's not on film unfortunately, but I was moving them like, actually no, it is on film because it's on the overhead. I just went like this, and they just jabbed all into my hand like that.
Ooh, lovely.
Like I didn't need a reason to hate Northumberland or it like enough, and I have another one now.
Lovely stuff.
Somebody was doing a spoiler in the chat earlier about that battle. I haven't watched it yet, but saying that you were in real trouble for what happened in that game. Some personality that may have died that shouldn't have died.
Something went wrong. Yeah, stuff went downhill. I'm gonna have to go back and find that in a minute.
So, Martin, what did you complete last week?
So I only completed one figure up until today. And the figure I completed, I suppose I could share this technically because I've done the video on it, haven't I? So I completed the Dead Man's Hand plastic guy, the Desperado with the rifle.
Nice.
I don't put out because I'm in love with that. I know I was sending you guys pictures. Like, look at this one. Look at, and basically what was happening was I think we were just tidying up. And I'll just walk past my little hobby station. And I go, no, I'm going to build another one. And I just do another. I just get together and like, what can I do here? So this guy is for my Desperados, and that's because if you buy the Desperado starter set or the metals, they never had a rifle armed model. And they can take one with a rifle. So I was like, right, no, I need that long range ability. I've got repeaters, but I didn't have a long range rifle in there. So no, I love that. That set is lovely. But then I've done him, and then I've made up the other 4, and I've started them as a outlaw gang because outlaws can have a lot of shotguns and a lot of repeaters.
Yeah,
that's what I've managed to do. What I love is obviously but I was trying to do it from what I'd seen or from what I know. Usually, when a model is kneeling, it's either got a heavy weapon or they give it a rifle. So that's why I gave him the 2 pistols. Yeah. And then I was trying to make the guy on the right look as much like Robert Duvall in open range as I could because I really like that film. And then the guy with the bag on his head is like, I can't not use.
Got to use that one. It's compulsory, isn't it?
And then the guy right, it's like the rear left. He's obviously got the shotgun and that, but he's the one. He really looks like Paul Newman from Butch Cassidy. But no, they go together really well. They're a lovely set. So if people have got those on order, you won't be disappointed. Well,
guys, you do not know what we have to go through. I mean, my phone all week has been pinging with Martin putting another frigging picture of another cowboy up on the internal on our little chat. It's just like, oh, for God's sake.
I know. But if you if you want to go and check out the review on my channel, but they've said there'll be another set out by the end of the year.
Oh, I reckon female heads may be included.
I was saying that I would love, and I know we said I would love just civilians on them. But that you can have the traditional Western bartender so he's got like the washcloth in one hand and then a shotgun in the other, or I just all that kind of stuff are good. And then today I got actually managed to finish. So what I was painting last week when we had Mr. Sidebottom on was these are the graves from Ashiro Terrain. So these are for the Japanese stuff, and I just mounted them all on washers. So they're quite basic, but they're nice little cut. They're nice little tote. So they can either be objectives or I can do a nice little graveyard. And then I don't know why I've painted these. I think it's going to upset Dom.
That'll probably be the answer.
I bought those at Salute like 2 or 3 years ago, right? Because they're quite cheap. They're resin, and I was like, oh, these would be good for some kind of fantasy or Badger related game. And they've sat there, and I was just looking. I was like, oh, I need to paint something, and but I sat there agonizing about do I paint them like actual mushrooms? or shall I just paint them however? So all I did was I went to the back of the paint drawer and just found those colours that I don't use, with the exception of the red one, because one of them's got to be red. But I chucked into those holes on the red one. I used that GW paint, Nurgle's Rot.
Yeah,
Just chuck that. I chucked that in all the holes, so it looked all gloopy. And then today I had 10 minutes, so I did another one of these Warhammer Stormcast, Stonecast now guys, because they're quite quick. I find them quite quick to do, and it's just a chance for me to practice my OSL stuff. So I've done him. I don't know what he does in the game. I don't know who he is, but I enjoyed painting him. Although I've now realised I've now building up like a little collection of them, so I might actually have to go and find out who they are and what they do in the game. But yeah, they're a lot of fun to do, and especially because he's they're 28 mil, but he's about 40 mil from foot to compared to it. So but it's just a bit of fun. So yeah, that was me. So and then tonight I'm just working on some Japanese resin terrain, which is a nice change of pace.
I was gonna say, just in regards to that cowboy,
how
did you can you get it back up? Because how did you do his where is the picture? I've lost
what the painted one.
Yeah, painted cowboy. Yeah.
Him.
How did you do his trousers?
Oh, you should watch Martin's
that,
video.
That just tells me you didn't watch my video, because not only is it a review, it's also a painting guide as well.
Yeah, I've not watched
it's Zenithal highlight as normal, black, then up to white. Then it's Nazdrag yellow contrast.
Yeah.
Then it's 2-to-1 quick shade over all the clothes.
Yeah.
With the mixed medium, and then it's basically it's a fine highlight on the creases with Vallejo sand yellow.
Okay.
But like real things, and then so just like I'm going to point out his crotch now, but basically just around that bit, like where it's where the folds are. So just on there, it works really well.
Yeah, because I like the little pulls you've got as well. Say on the left hand side there, and his trouser above the knee there. It's a real nice, leathery sort of colour, and that's obviously the yellow pooling, I guess. And you've got
it is. Yeah, so I was sort of dragging it up his leg rather than across it. And then the thing is, at the bottom, because I use pigments and steel, know what I'm sort of talking about here. At the bottom, there's probably been a bit of a mix of pigments get on there, but because it dries dusty, because that's how I do those bases. This one, and then that skull is in that set as well, the Longhorn Skull.
Really?
So, yeah. This is what I said. I said in the review, and we've said about things. But basically, any companies, if you have spare room on the sprue, just use them up. Fill it with use it up. Casualties, just stuff. This is the sprue, and there's still, you can see how much is left on it that I haven't used. There's loads. I did see if these fitted with the Perry ACW. They don't. They don't. They're little. The Perry ACW. These are heroic 28mm, if you like. Whereas Perry's are really realistically proportional.
They might fit the Warlord stuff.
They might fit. Warlord don't make any, do they? No, Warlord don't do ACW apart from
I'm talking Warlord models.
But they might. As someone said, these guys are sculpted by the same one I think who did Frostgrave. So the Frostgrave stuff and the Stargrave, you should be able to. I've got some of that somewhere. I should have actually tried it out. So, but yeah, on here there's a cacti and some dynamite in there that you can chuck on the base. I'll probably use the dynamite as like an objective token or something. I'll probably build up a little base with some dynamite ready to go off.
Well, that'd be a really good mission, wouldn't it? To be able to you have to get to something before the dynamite explodes.
Yeah, they're going to blow up the old mine or the bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mine are arriving in the middle of June because after the podcast last week, I went and pre-ordered one of the bundles because I have no willpower at all. But yeah,
you turned into Ken.
You have turned into Ken.
We swapped.
I used to have I used to have so much willpower. I'd put things off until I actually needed them, rather than having like a massive pile of shame. But that's 2 new game systems in the space of a week.
Well done, Steve. That's all I can say. Well done.
No, we're proud of you, mate. We're proud of you.
What is going on? So
It's
my
always
painting.
nice to be there when someone falls.
Fallen angel.
My painting last week, I didn't paint much, but what I did paint, I enjoyed, and it's ta-da! More lance nets.
Compenses. Hey.
So I finished. Exactly. These are actually the first lot from the starter box that I've actually opened and have started working on. So this is a unit of arquebusiers, so handgunners. Just really, really nice models to paint. They take a while. Don't get me wrong. There's quite a bit of work goes into them. And I painted one base a couple of weeks back as like a test, and then a batch painted 8 lance nets, and it was painful. It was just bright colours all over the place. But I said to Martin, though, I said about I was listening to Iron Maiden while painting lance nets, and it fits. It's just like the perfect soundtrack for painting lance nets. So I can highly recommend it. But I'm glad they're done. Actually, really enjoyable to paint. So different to the technique that I'd normally use. So I don't drown these in Agrax Earthshade. I block paint all the bright colours, and then just do individual washes over each colour. So it takes a while. And then after that it's 2 layers of highlights, and I go in and do the flesh and the wood and the metallics, and then base them. And I've only got about 156 more to go. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to paint them, but I keep asking myself, how did I end up painting lance nets?
That's what we all keep asking, is how the hell do you do that?
It's Lardy Rich's fault, isn't it? Or you were thinking about it. You watched it was like a mixture of like Leon's videos. Then Lardy Rich came on the stream and he was doing some, weren't he?
I mean, when I saw Leon doing his, I was like, I need to try them one day. But then the words that Leon said always ring in my mind whenever I think of lance nets, and it was a very, very simple phrase: never again. After he finished painting all his lance nets, he just said it almost broke him. And
so you went and bought a starter army as a result of that. That's brilliant.
I mean, the fact that I actually ordered that the first unit, I never thought I'd finish that. I thought I'd paint 4, maybe 8, and then just give up completely.
Yeah.
But
if I'm honest, I think we all thought that.
But to finish an entire pike block, and then the regiment or the unit of handgunners, I am. I don't know. Cheers, Leslie. If I ever get there.
I was just wondering, actually, has anyone else has anyone else got that never again? If I just went to Steve, what's the unit you've done? You've just gone never again.
French Napoleonic infantry.
Yeah, go on then, Tom. What about you?
I'm getting close with those bloody elves.
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 Yeah,
elves. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
elves.
Really getting close to it.
Yeah. Ken, what about you?
I don't know.
Never again. What were you saying? Come on, just off the cuff. Never again.
Dwarf Warriors. Yeah.
Minor Highlanders. There we go. Done. So no, it doesn't need. No one needs to explain their choice. Just there you go.
Highlanders. Yeah. I can sense that.
Oh no!
I've got 2 boxes of them waiting to be done, and I'm thinking, I don't know. Not sure about that.
No, mine's those bloody ships, Black Seas. Never a fucking.
Oh, good, yes.
Tim Stevens, they're all your problem now, mate.
Good call. I made 2, and that was probably too many, because I don't know that the painting for me wasn't the pain in the arse. It's the rigging.
It is.
I mean that second one that I did, and it's here. That I took an hour and 20 minutes to do the rigging on that.
Yeah, no, I'll buy them done. I think bring them buy sales. That's what I'll be looking for because I'd like to play the game, but I'm not doing them ever again. No.
Well, the beauty of it, if you buy Victory at Seas, then you get virtually the same game, but with no rigging needed. you just have to deal with the little tiny fiddly bits that you have to stick on ships.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I didn't mind the rigging too much, but I kept it really, really simple. I mean, very simple. So I didn't do anything like they suggested. Just wrap a couple of bits of thread around them just to make them look vaguely like lines. And that was
I knew Louis Baby was going to say that.
I knew he was going
to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
You're getting very predictable, Louis.
Are they the ones where they've got bare feet and stuff?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
All right. Yes, so the friends of General Haig, 15 millimeter.
Just 15 mil. Just generally.
Just generally 15 millimeter. Yeah.
That's what I love. 6 mil, hey, Martin.
To be honest, I'm looking forward. I can't do it.
How many times have you fucking said this?
I can't do it with a straight face. Haven't you got some 6 mil?
Yeah, I have. I'm freely admitting.
No, him. No, Ken.
Yeah.
Ken. Yeah, he's got more, hasn't he? He's got some 6 mil to do. I'm going to keep on asking you when you've done yours.
They're not on the pile yet, but you said yours were going to be done in one day.
I never said when that day was going to be.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, are they primed? Are they primed mine? Yes, they are. So that's part of your day. So
they're not primed.
I thought you said they were primed.
No, I stuck them to lollipop sticks. That's what I've done.
Oh, there you go. That's part of it. That's part of doing the hobby. Jesus.
Here's a comment from Mezza and sponsor of the channel, mezzasminis.co.uk. Stick around to the end of the show. We'll be revealing a code which will get you a nice 10% discount at Carl's store. And Carl won't be painting hussars.
Oh,
that's just like Martin then again. Anything cavalry, really, isn't it, for Martin?
My thing is by the end of the year, I've still got 6 months.
I can't wait for that day. It's going to
Why?
be Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1. How's your cavalry, mine?
when I trail them all out done, what happens then?
We don't do the show anymore. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. We
the world's come to an end. That's it. Finished.
Martin, with the hussars, the ones that you said I should be painting.
The hussars were the ones I wanted you to paint. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I know what they look. I know what they look like, and that's
stupid. They look stupid.
To be fair, though, he's done Landschnecks for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but Landschnecks don't have some stupid little jacket with loads of cording like over their arm on top of their already stupid uniform. No. They look. I said they look when they're done. They look lovely. It's just horrible to paint, in my humble opinion.
I have to say, if there's a choice between light cavalry and it's light dragoons or hussars, I'll always do the light dragoons. So I'm with you on that to a degree.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's anyone who goes, I'm gonna pick cuirassiers or hussars.
Yeah.
Why would you even make? Because also the thing is, they're men on horses. They're crap. There's nothing good about them in the games. There's nothing good about them.
Oh dear.
So, Martin, how many have you actually got to paint? How many have you got left?
Why are we going over this? I have.
It's a therapy session.
Hang on.
About
About 96 because I got it down by 12.
Just like the 96 rifle. No, 95.
I got it down, didn't I? And then I realised that look, there's enough stuff in this set that I could make another 12. And so I ordered the horses from Perry, and I got rid of 12, and I'll just replace them straight away with 12 more. But I know I've just seen friends of General Haig. He says, surely you don't include winged hussars. No, I don't include winged hussars. I mean Napoleonic. Horrible hussars.
Just anything. Yes. You just don't like Napoleonic cavalry, do you?
No, and I'll paint cavalry from other people. Riders of Rohan I love. I'll knock them out. absolutely fine. I don't mind them. Wars of the Roses cavalry, again, knights, love them. Oh, them out. It's just Napoleonic cavalry for some reason. Just I hate it.
There's one more hussar related chat from Leslie. At least they're not 6 mil hussars that Martin has to paint.
True. It's very true. Because
that's a great combination. That's 6 mil and hussars. What could possibly go right there?
Yeah, 2 mil hussars would be the only ones I'd want to do.
Yeah, just
has anyone ever painted 2 mil figures?
No.
Does anyone at all paint them?
Epic 2 mil, wasn't it?
6 mil.
No, Epic was 6 mil.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then no. Oh no, isn't Drop Zone Commanders 2 mil?
No. That's 7 or 8 mil.
It's not. I've got it. it's like
it's 100%. 100%.
It's not. I've got some. I'm gonna get them then.
No, when we went to
10 mil.
that
Drop Zone Commander.
Is it?
Yep. 10 mil.
I didn't think it was 2. I didn't think it was 2 mil.
2 mils like the size of a bloody, I don't know, a thumb on a Napoleonic figure.
Well, it should be 2 mil.
My mate's got a 2 mil English Civil War army.
Oh my god!
He tried to rope me into buying one as well, but I stayed clear of that insanity. I've got no desire to start painting 2mm figures.
No.
Oh.
I mean, there must be.
Dom's struggling.
I just think actually,
Really
surely it
large
can't be that difficult to do. You just literally do red for British, blue for French, and a little bit on the black on the top, and it's done, isn't it? I mean, you can't really paint them, can you?
No, I mean,
controversial. I bet someone out there has done an awesome.
I bet they have, but I mean, normal people. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! But I couldn't see him.
But no, that's a scale. I mean, to be fair, I mean the army came in like the smallest box I've ever seen. It was just like, yeah, here's your entire army. There's 50,000 figures in there. It's in a matchbox. Yeah.
Well, those ones that Martin and I got with the samurai, 6 mil samurai, they came in the tiniest box, and I'm thinking,
yeah.
And you think, oh, there's a whole army here. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? The 6 mil stuff, how small you can actually put it in. And it's packed. No, 100%.
Well, it's all back in that lovely small box, and it's back up in the cupboard somewhere. So one day it will be done. One day.
Tell you what, from the comments, it does seem to be like quite a few people know all about 2 mil painting and gaming. I salute your insanity, sir. I salute your insanity.
I can sort of see the benefit, and I kind of, if they did ready-made painted armies of 6 mil or 2 mil or something, I could sort of see it, because you could do some bloody, you could refight Leipzig or something, couldn't you?
Yeah.
On a tiny table, and it'd be great, and I'd actually quite enjoy that. But just the thought, I mean, well, I know the 6 mil I've got, I'm sitting there. That said, that bloody Kickstarter you sent around, Ken, of those. You were talking about last week, the European war job, the self-print, the armies.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, I'm going to have to back that, because it's just so awesome. And they do Swedish, and they do all sorts of...
They do everything, yeah, man. Yeah, he's reached his
like
goal.
30 quid.
He's reached his goal, which is really nice. He's smashed his goal, so...
Yeah, I mean, I've seen lots of people talking about it. In fact, I saw... Oh, crikey, who was it? Was it... Little Legions did a video, because you can send a few examples of them.
I've been sent 2 battalions worth, plus a load of cannons. Yeah, he reached out to me.
They look really good. They do. Really
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I've got. He sent me them. I didn't ask for him. He just sent me them, which was really nice. And I've got the 6 mil, and he sent an 18 mil one. 15 mil one as well. It looks good. It looks all right at 15 mil, but I think if you scale up any bigger, he's put in the letter that I've got. They're quite chunky. So
they look like they'll be really.
Yeah.
So if they're any bigger than 15, they'll be a bit too chunky. But at 15, they're all right. But 6 mil, what's even nicer is you can change There goes our child-friendly rating. You can customize all the uniforms. So you've got Austrians in there, but you've got Landwehr hats for like I think it's like I can't remember who it is, but all Prussian uniforms. You can mix it all up, you know, and you can just change the heads and things. It's quite customizable. So you put bear skins on people. Yeah,
I was impressed by it. So I think, well, I'm going to get that 3D printer fired up and have a go at them at some point.
Give it a go, yeah.
But yeah, and then I'll just sit and watch them and hope they paint themselves, because that will obviously be what will happen.
Yeah. Well,
I can do them in different.
I'm not going to lie, Dom.
The
6mm, Dom. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they come out really crisp. So there's enough. You can get detail on them quite nicely.
It's not the question of detail, mate. It's being able to see the bugger. That's the problem.
No, it's all right.
Dom, I'll make you a promise. If I one day paint those samurai and it's not horrendous, I'll do yours for you.
Oh,
so we can have a game if they do only take a day.
But
if they only take a day,
you got to paint 96 cavalry.
I don't know why I'm making all these pledges. Actually, it's probably a bad plan, and I'm going to be because you're the kind of people who actually like to remind people of the mistakes they've made.
The thing is,
it's all recorded now.
The thing is, though, Dom, with the rapidity of your painting, 96 cavalry should take you about 49 minutes.
Yeah,
that's true. I thought I might knock it out over the. Have we got another bank holiday?
I'll swap you. You do my cavalry. I'll do your 6mm armies.
Not sure.
I don't think that's entirely.
I don't think that's fair. Do you?
Fair.
No,
I don't think that's entirely fair.
You did say 6mm armies, so maybe if you buy another 10 or 12, then.
Hey, that's a thought. Yeah, I could buy a load of them, and then good thinking, Ken. Like it. I like the cut of your jib, so to speak. Look at this. Look at this new box.
Has it got a new box? Oh, that's a cracking sight, that, Dom. New box.
What's that?
I just dropped it on the floor, but there you go. New box.
New box of plastic. Is that the box I sent you?
No. This is this one. I showed it a couple of weeks
ago.
ago.
The Russians.
I finally got around to opening it. So I'm going to start making some of these buggers up.
Yeah,
the Russian army's coming. Say again?
Are you going to do your otter before you do that?
Do you know?
Have you found
it? I can't find it anywhere. It's driving me insane. I had the place ripped upside down the other day looking for it because I thought, I'm going to show you, bastard. I'm going to do it. I'm going to paint it. It's going to be sitting here. I'm not going to reference it. I'm just going to leave it on the camera. I can't find it.
Dom, have you tried the garden? It may have gone back to its natural habitat.
It could be. That's true, Steve.
It's like my phone the other day, wasn't it, Dom? Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I had kittens about that, didn't we? I was having absolute kittens. I was
having a little meltdown. He couldn't find his phone, and he got up and he was running around and he was looking around. He said, "Bloody phone!" And it was right under his seat where he was sitting.
Yeah, but the worst thing was, I didn't remember using it at all when I was at Dom's, and we were calling it, and it was ringing like a couple of times and going off. So it's like someone had picked it up and was just rejecting the calls. So I was thinking, where does he live? I'm like, it's only on something's phone. It's well nice around here. Someone's half-pinched my phone. And then it was, he found it. I was like, oh, thank Christ for that. Yeah. And it was
Dom,
it must have just been a signal.
I don't know whether this comment's about your Russians or not. You'll need extra command. It only comes with one set.
It's true. He's absolutely right. Duke is right. So they do. There's loads in here, but they don't actually give you any command. Well, as he says, there's one command set. But I was pre-warned, and I went onto the Perry website when I bought this, and I bought
our friends the Perrys.
Our friends the Perrys.
Did I say I was talking to Michael today? Actually, I was actually as well. I got 4 command sprues from them because they sell a lot of their sprues singular. So I've got the 4 command sprues from there, who are going to now become the commanders for these warlords.
Fantastic.
Russians, because that's the easiest way to do it. And then you get, I can't remember how many battalions you get out of this, but quite a lot.
Quite a few. Yeah.
There's 96 plastic Russians in there.
5 battalions.
Yeah, 5 battalions. Plus you get the Pavlovsky Grenadiers as well. So yeah, all good. So yeah, that's how you do it. 5. Actually, that makes sense because I got 5 command sprues. So there you go, 5 battalions.
It'd be 6. No, hang on. No, have you got 5 in total? Or is it?
So I've got 5 command sprue. Plus, there's the one already in here, which I think I'm going to use.
Yeah, it might be
The
6.
Pavlov one, I think. Yeah,
You're not including those in the number. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm including that separate. Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, I was watching Napoleonic Wargame when he was talking about the set, and he said that you need to make sure that you buy a command somewhere else. So I went and got the Perry ones because they'll fit. They'll be fine. They're nice figures. So that's the next thing.
I wonder what the reason behind that is. Then I mean, just having. I know in my Landsknecht one, I think I've got 6 command frames in there.
The Napoleonic ones, they don't tend to do it, Steve, to be honest, because they're starting you out with like a taster because they want you to buy the other sets, buy more boxes and stuff like that.
I think it's just cheap. It's just cheaper that way, isn't it, for them?
Exactly,
yeah. Plus, they sell metal commands, so they want you to buy them. So I think that's why they do it.
Yeah. With 46.
GP said, oh, sorry, mate. Carry on.
I was just saying, we're 46 minutes in. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's watching this on the replay.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done. Yes.
Good man.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. What was I saying? GP said, Perry's at 28 historic, can't be beat. Yeah, the only reason why I did this, so the box set from Warlords is really reasonable, and I also bought it from a eBay retailer who was then doing 20% off as well. So it was like, I don't know how much. It was very cheap anyway. But also the Napoleonic Wargamer guy said that he thought the Warlords Russian Napoleonics were better because the mold line is in a better position on them, whereas the Perry one, it tends to go right on the face, apparently. So I don't know. So that's why I did it. But I think that entire box cost me about 45 quid, something like that. So it's like, well, sorry. I love the Perrys to bits. And obviously, but yeah.
I've got a question for ECW fans out there, especially at the Warlord stuff. With the cavalry stuff, so you've got guys with swords, you've got guys with the pistols and stuff, do they mix in units, or is it just pistol unit? Yeah, so they've
all got them. They've all got them. I mean, you've got dragoon units, but do you just mean that normal cavalry sprue? They've all got pistols. I've just mixed them all up. Again, I've built them. I just haven't painted them. Yeah, it's the same as the helmets. Like I've just mixed them all up because they both had them. The lobster helmets. It's just that they're traditionally everyone associates them with the roundheads. But they're on both sides, and to be honest, they look easier to paint.
Good a reason as any, frankly.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. No, that's cool. It's just handy because I've just finished doing what I said painting wise, so I'm gonna make up some of these bad boys. I think
this I've just done an experiment. I've used Nasdrag yellow for the straw on top of the Japanese houses because it's not like a normal. It's not like a thatched house, is it? Over here, it's all delayed. But look at that. It's actually come out quite well. It's quite nice, quite clean. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised at something. I was like, oh, well, experiment, and it hasn't gone hideously wrong.
I quite like that as sort of. I've used that before on strawy things. It actually is a really good colour for that. It really works well.
Can any of you Napoleonic types answer that for Steve?
What's he saying?
French half the wall. I've done the English 40-minute square base units 24. Should I do the French or same? Yeah, do them. It's up to you, man. It's it's your armies, but I prefer 60 by 40 bases.
I'm a 40 by 40 man myself.
Yeah, Dom uses 40 by 40.
But then I wouldn't do the French anyway. That's my advice. Don't do
that. Mine uses 60 by 40s for naps as well. When I copy
I started on 40 by a mix of 40 by 40s and 40 by 20s, which is what they gave you originally. Warlords used to give you, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll follow them. And then people just kept on toppling over, and I was like, no, I'll just do 60 by 40 because that's only 4 pieces I've got to move per battalion.
Yeah, just laziness, and it works really well. And I think 6 guys on a stand looks better as well. So I've always found
the reason why I do it because the British battalion, 24 strong and black powder. It works out basically. No, is the British one? No, the French one actually. If you do French or French subsidiaries, it's 2 figures per company, isn't it? At that scale.
Yeah.
So if you group, you can do your 2 Voltigeur types on the base with 2 other Fusiliers, and it just seems to work for me. I know you could do it in 6, I know, but
I do it. I still follow that I still follow that same thing though, Dom. So I'll put 4 Grenadiers and 4 Voltigeurs on one, but then I'll put 2 Fusiliers on that base as well.
Got you.
So I'll still match the frontage the same, but I'll just put them on the same base.
See, that's where we differ, because I chucked like 9 Grenadiers in my Italian unit because I was like, they look cool. I just like them. Like, fuck it. They're going in. I don't care. Who's going to tell me? I don't care. They suffered casualties. They've got more Grenadiers. I've kind of got modelling like they're pushing the other ones forward as well. I've become less and less sort of bothered now about way I represent my Napoleonic battalions. I think that's just because I've painted so many of them.
I can't play against you now, Martin. Now you told me that. It's just not historically accurate.
I know.
That's it. Sorry.
Yes, I will do it. I will do a drop though. I have done a video on getting started in Napoleonic wargaming. It's on the front page of my channel as my the intro video. So yeah, and it goes actually. Funny enough, it goes over basing, so it goes over 40 by 40 and 60 by 40.
Doesn't that? I was going to say, doesn't that before you go, because you could use it, because I know because Steve was talking about his topic, and doesn't that leads into Steve's topic?
Yeah,
doesn't it? You're gonna do yourself out of something you could say.
Yes, I'll stuck myself over.
I think ultimately do whatever makes you feel happy. Really, I think it's the bottom rule.
Yeah, I think
or whatever annoys your opponent.
That as well. That's always a good thing.
No, I mean, I think Evil Jim. I think he sums it well. The rule of cool. I mentioned that several times in videos and posts, especially the other week when I was having my US Airborne questioned. But I'm not going to mention that ever again. So I'm totally over my head. That totally, I didn't even bother me one jot. No,
not at all.
Never heard a word from you about that one at all. Never.
No.
My ears, mate.
No, but I think the rule of cool. Yeah, absolutely. Just not when it comes to Napoleonics, because I'm not painting Napoleonics ever again.
You are. You still got 6 to do. You can't leave it without that battalion being finished.
I tried to paint them and I gave up. It just hurts to paint.
Send them to me. I'll do them because it will drive me nuts.
it's just, I think I'm trying to word this. Actually, that's an interesting question. The ones before we had the never again. What's a unit we just think I will never paint that? Not you haven't tried. But you just look at it and think, no, I could never ever do that. Is there anything that you guys would have in that category? Lanchnecks.
Fuck Lanchnecks with a big no way, mate. Yes.
I'm trying to think.
I think I'd give everything I'm just trying to think.
No, I wouldn't even try them. Fuck them. No. Fucking that part of history never happened. Nah.
Are you saying things that you've tried before and you wouldn't go back to?
No, if you just say, no, I mean, so if you've seen a box and you think, you know what, I'm not even going to attempt it.
I think 28mm Samurai.
Okay.
I mean, it's bad enough at 6mm, but I just think I love the look of them. But I think just that detail on all their uniform, all their armor, and all the sort of little fizzy bits and what have you. No. I'll stick to doing thousands of Napoleonics, thank you.
Well, Mez has put Highlanders.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. Is there anything I'm just trying to think about antiquity. I'm just trying to think. I'm sure there has been something I've gone, nah, I don't. To be honest, to me, it's if anything it put me off would probably be something World War II. I keep on thinking about doing like just Russians, but the uniforms just look. It's not that they're boring. Well, I guess it is a bit. I don't know. The thought of it is just like of uniform. Like I don't know. I just look at it and go, nah. But I don't even think now. I think I'd still do it.
See, I don't know why. So you should do SS then, dude. If you really want to paint the challenge, because the doing that P dot camo and Splinter camo is proper hard.
Yeah, I know. No, my mate who I played the Wars of the Roses games against, he's really good at doing camo. So I don't even want to attempt it because it'll look absolutely naff in comparison. So I'm not even going to try.
Persians are all right. They're just lots of stripes and dots and things. I've done a few of those in 15mm time. They're all right. Don't mind them. But yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think mine would be. I mean, I attempted those French Napoleonic infantry, and I think for me it'd just be anything Napoleonic. I just
French drummers.
French drummers, yeah.
French drummers would be yours, wouldn't it? I think that would be it.
Yeah.
If you don't like French drummers, try Italian drummers. They're even fucking worse. Try Austrian standard bearers with their standard, with their pole. Oh my god!
Aren't Austrians the ones all dressed in white as well?
Yeah, they've got a twirly sort of pattern on the actual banner pole. Oh man, that's fun.
That's a good shout by Paul. Actually, that's a lot of this. Yeah, that's a good shout.
That's true. Actually, yeah, that's sort of the same sort of thing as the samurai. Lots of fiddly armor and twiddly feathers and all sorts of banners and shit. Hard work.
Martin is a dude after your own heart. Cavalry of
any type of scale.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
I've actually painted very, very few cavalry in my life. I painted 6 knights for my Warlords of Erewhon army, and I painted 2 of those chasseurs de cheval. Yeah, I painted 2 of those, but they took me 3 days to paint 2. So I think on the the productivity front, I don't think they'd be ideal for me. But I don't hate painting cavalry. I just never have the urge to do it.
Yeah.
I was paint cavalry, and I look back at it and I think, I've only done 12 figures. It seems to have taken forever, but of course it's not. It's 24 really.
Yeah,
12
we said this before, didn't we? Like,
I always count it as 24 because you do horses.
I don't mind doing cavalry. I just and sometimes I kind of just like to do it just to break it up and do something different. So
anything with leopard print, like that's something, like you get those certain cavalry from Napoleonic period. Or certain Greek warriors. The Romans is too bad because it's quite small. But like where you've got like whole battalions of it, where you've got all these. I was like, nah.
I'm quite daunted by the whole heraldry bit. That's the bit I'm a little nervous about.
Oh, I love doing heraldry.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm hoping that I might be able to get you to do it. That'd be great. Then I don't have to worry about that.
I'll do your livery badges for you. I'll do those because they're quick and easy. Well, again, I'll probably regret saying that. No, who are you doing again? You're doing Henry Holland, aren't you? No, so it's just like a little wheat sheaf. It's just a little wheat sheaf. So.
Oh right. I'll package them up, send them over. Thank you.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. We'll just bring him to CrackCon. I'll just sit there in the corner with.
That's so. Martin, you're not allowed to have a beer until you finish doing my heraldry. Stop it now.
Yeah, so Duncan's put the centaurs count as 1 figure or 2.
Oh, now that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, you got to be politically correct. It has to be 1, doesn't it? I mean, otherwise you're being.
Yeah. Do you know one of my first ever kit bashes? It was a centaur. When I was about, really early in the hobby. We used to do sort of a Warhammer Fantasy Battle sort of role play skirmish type thing with Chaos War bands. And I made my warband was led by a centaur that I made from an Empire horse and a Kislevite body, and just like modeling putty. I mean, it was probably looked pretty tragic back in the day, but I was very proud of it.
Now that's just reminded me, Steve. I want to have a serious conversation about this Turnip 28 rubbish thing. So I know you've been going on about this for a while, and I read the War Games Illustrated this month.
Yes,
at lunchtime today, and there's a 4-page article about the guy who wrote those rules and about the theory on them. I still have absolutely no idea what the freaking hell is going on with that game. I mean, there's a picture of. I mean, somebody I know that you probably got the picture for later. There was somebody put it on the Facebook page with some mushrooms coming out of horse's arse, and it's like. But this guy was trying to explain what the hell these rules are all about, and I'm going, I just don't get it at all.
The best way to describe it was sort of medieval stroke Napoleonics meets root vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that makes more sense than what he was trying to justify it, to be fair.
But yeah, but the guy that's invented the whole concept he's an artist.
Piss artist, yes, me.
But very, very creative. I was saying to Rob, I've noticed over the past couple of months on Instagram, loads and loads of Turnip 28 on there. Loads. It's become really, really popular. I've still only made the 2, but I really want to branch out. See what I did there?
Thank you. Is there a week? I just looked at it. I think he was trying to explain. It was like there's some post-apocalyptic world because the world had been destroyed by the Napoleonic Wars, and I'm thinking, okay, I kind of get that. And there's a mud bath and all these and it just leapt into all these root vegetables that appeared. And I think, how did that happen? I mean, at least in these weird sort of sci-fi things, there's like some mad scientist trying to do something, but this is just like suddenly popped up. They all suddenly decided to become mad vegetables. It's just like, okay.
I mean, I think a lot of what a lot of people doing with the kit bashing is sort of Napoleonic plastics or Napoleonics.
Yeah,
but they're putting medieval helmets, with the pointy like conical faces. And after that, it's just anything. I mean, the ones I built, I use Landsknechts and Perry Napoleonics and some Warlord AWI bits and pieces, and works really well. It's just
I sort of get the fun of making all those different models and just letting anything go, but just like I thought there might be some reasonable explanation for it, and there clearly wasn't. It's just madness. That's all I can say. It's complete madness.
It's great that the rules are out, though. I mean, you can actually be able to game the whole concept, the whole ethos and background. That's going to produce some fantastic looking armies and some fantastic looking table setups as well. Looking forward to it. It should be very, very good. Yeah. I think trying to find an opponent might be challenging.
No, you just go down to the local loony asylum and you'll find loads of them, I'm sure. There'll be loads of them there.
I thought you were going to say just pop down to the local allotment and try and sell it there.
Well, that might work.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Playing Turnip 28 in an allotment. God, I'd talk about mood room.
You'd have great scenery, wouldn't you? It'd be brilliant.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Well, Dom, Paul's got a theory. It's an age thing, Dom.
It's an age thing, yeah.
Well, the fact that I don't understand, or that idiots are doing that. No, sorry, lovely people are doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a grumpy old man since my birthday. I don't know. Maybe you're right, Paul. Maybe you're right. I just didn't. Genuinely, I thought, right, this is exactly that thing that Steve's been going on about. I'll understand a little bit, and I had literally the first paragraph. It was like, what? I cannot reading it, and it made less sense as the article went on. And it was like, I don't know what the hell this is all about, but whatever. I thought I'd ask Steve.
When we're going to look at some viewers' pictures later. Yeah, Rob, I've saved Rob's picture because I just like the way he did his mushrooms. Because I think Rob's
very often.
No, he's only just recently found out about it, so he's properly interested in it now. So yeah.
What is the topic for tonight then, Steve?
Right.
It's now already.
Geez, 9:00. Right. So over the past couple of weeks, I've had quite a few comments on my channel asking me for advice about starts in bolt action or certain units, and how do I got painting this, or how do these play in game. I just thought it'd be interesting if we all just pick a game system or an era or a period that we like and we game, and just run through a bit of advice and guidance, tips, hobby painting tips, for anyone who getting into that particular game system.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Do we have any volunteers to go first?
You.
Do you want to go first?
Go on.
Yeah, you go first. You go first. Go on.
So I was explaining the other day with bolt action. On the whole army building side, I plan an army in increments of sort of 500 points. So I'll start off with a sort of between either a 500 or 1,000 point army, and then I don't add anything to that until it's all painted, and then that allows me then to play games of certain point levels. So if you're new to bolt action, as I said, actually saying this to a guy yesterday, to start off with a unit, a HQ, a couple of units, and one support option, and just play the rules that way. Just run through and then add sort of a unit here, or add another 250 points and build it up to 500, then 750, then 1,000. And before you know it, you're really conversant with the rules. Yeah, you're not looking at everything every 5 minutes. And it's just for me, it's a very structured way of getting into a hobby. Now, paint wise. For painting bolt action, what I would say is don't get too hung up on the historical accuracy of your uniforms. That for me is a really big. Obviously, don't paint. Don't paint Russians in electric pink or.
Why not?
If you want to do that, fair play.
No. Oh, thank you.
Get them in your Turnip 28 games. I think they'd work really well in Turnip 28 pink Russians. No, I think sometimes there's a sort of pathological focus on getting 100% historical accuracy in your painting. But I always say to people, well, if you're going down that route, uniforms change. They get muddied, they lose. If you're out in the elements, you're gonna lose. They're gonna fade, and 3 feet. The 3 feet rule for me always comes in. So if it looks okay from 3 feet away, it's going to be fine. And anyone that's closer than that deserves a paintbrush in the eye for getting too close to your miniatures. That's just I've always felt that way. That if it looks okay from 3 feet away, and the very fact that you're putting paint on figures in the first place, to me is just a bonus. I think some people, are content to play with grey plastic or unpainted figures. It's down to them. Do what you want to do. But with bolt action specifically, I try and make my armies look as historically accurate as I can, but I don't get hung up over it. I'm not gonna lose sleep because I didn't use the right shade of olive drab on my US Airborne
Steve. So what is field grey then? Can you explain to me the colour of field grey? What is the correct colour to use for field grey, Steve? Because the army painter one says it's like a grey, but then if you go to Vallejo, they say it's like a green grey, and then
it's like trying to explain alchemy. Trying to explain
difference of field grey. Is that the correct answer?
Well, it is. They use so many shades of grey, shades of field grey.
50 shades of field grey.
Steve's autobiography.
That you can get away with it, and my go-to is always Vallejo field grey. That to me, and I can change that by adding.
It is a nice field grey.
Yeah, by adding things and washes and different cuts, so you can change it up. But no, trying to explain what is the correct and most accurate field grey paint is likely to end in fisticuffs because I don't think there's any right answer to it.
No, there isn't.
So Drew said, is the bolt action rule set enough to start planning armies and battling?
No.
Well, yes.
Is it?
You obviously need your army book to go with your to expand on.
But there's online. There's free online ones. There's Easy Army.
Easy Army.
Yeah, you can use Easy Army. Yeah.
That'll let you do 500 points. It will tell you everything that army does. So you can use actually Easy Army, and that's free.
Yeah, Easy Army, definitely recommend that. I use that all the time if I'm experimenting, building new lists. I use Easy Army all the time. But yeah, really, what I like about it is it's the army building side of bolt action is painless. It's really well set out. Some games you're trying to build an army and it just gets a bit convoluted. But with bolt action, no, really easy. So I can definitely recommend it. I've just seen an interesting one here from where's it gone? Oh, I can't find it. There we go. That's the one there. Dunkelgelb. That's another one. Trying to explain. Do you know what I use for my Dunkel Gelb? Vallejo Green Ochre.
Okay.
It just works. I either use that or khaki, which is a strange one because it's khaki, but it does work. Sworn are getting a bit supplement heavy.
Sorry, so just chopped you down.
Oh, no, sorry.
I just thought it was hilarious. This turnip game sounds like an alternative time there where Prince Regent is deposed by Baldric and spends his entire national budget for eating salient turbans.
What do you recommend for starting those, Steve? So, like, obviously, if you're new to it, would you recommend just one of the starter armies?
Well, yeah, starter army. I mean, the two best starter armies. I mean, I know Ken, you've got the US Airborne as well. That's a cracking starter army, that isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a really good way of. Oh god, yeah, good price. So yeah, I would say rule book, your army book, and just a starter box, and you're away. That's really all you need to start. And you can have some really good.
You need the dice, don't you? And that's about it, just the dice.
Oh, and your order dice as well. But you don't. I mean, you
don't need the order dice.
One of those things. You don't need
to use a six-sider if you wanted. Or just marker counters, you don't have to.
Yeah, two different colour marker counters, that'd work, wouldn't it? As long as they're the same shape, so you don't know which one you're pulling out.
Oh, yes.
Fiddle, I've done a bit of dice shaving. Yes.
But for me, it is one of the, because when I first got into it, I was like, there's got to be more than this. This seems to be too simple to get into. And no, it is. It's just a really, really simple game to get into, and still remains my favourite game of choice at the moment. And if you're interested in learning bolt action, go to my channel. There's a series of videos on there called Bolt Action Basics, which outline all the main mechanics you will need to play games of bolt action.
Excellent.
As a nice observation from Steve, this topic could get expensive.
Well, if it doesn't, we're not doing our job. That's all I can say.
No.
We've already cost me a fortune last week, so we might as well start a new lot.
Exactly.
Two new games in a week. I blame the hot weather. I'm not thinking straight.
Yeah.
It's badness.
I'm slightly befuddled by it all. So that was a quick whistle stop introduction into just bolt action. Who's got another opinion?
I'll go next if you want.
Right, go on.
So pretty obvious. I'm probably going to do black powder. It's easiest way to like getting into it and just like hobby tips, Steve. So basically, yeah. So depending on what army you want to go with, obviously you're going to need the main black powder rulebook. If you are either going to go as the French or the British, you have to buy the Waterloo starter set and then sell the other half. You have to, because you get the rule book.
That compulsory?
Yes, it is. You have to.
Well, any of their starter sets, because all of their battle sets come with the rule book as well, don't they?
No.
Well, I do, because I got it.
What starter set?
La Haison. That comes with all the rules.
but that's like 300, 200 quid, isn't it?
You still get loads of stuff at the building.
Yeah, but you're just looking to start out.
And I was just thinking about this, and you get all your command.
Yes,
you don't in the other one.
Yes, you do get all your command.
So I'll shut up.
Yes, cheers, mate. Cheers. But you get, so with that, if you want to do those, but if you want to do something different, so say like you want to do the Austrians or you want to do Prussians, you've got a few choices. So if you're going to go Austrians, I would recommend Perry's. So they're on the Perry's website. They do little deals. So like I got 3 boxes of infantry and a commander. That you can't go wrong with that. Just to get you started. Yes, you got no cannon and no cavalry. Thank God Martin's thinking in his head. Mm-hmm. But it's a nice way to get started with it. And it all depends. I'm talking about 28mm, obviously, because black powder is from Warlord and it's 28mm scale. You can obviously play in different scales. But that's what I would do. But tips for it. Napoleonic Wargaming is renowned for their uniforms being a pain in the ass to paint, because there's so many cross straps, so many different colours and all that sort of jazz. If you want simplicity for painting, You know, you can go French with their greatcoats. Very, very, very easy. Fuck off. Very easy to do. And the good thing about French and greatcoats is you can also do Italians in greatcoats. You can do basically anyone that's in a French uniform with greatcoats and just paint the trousers a different color. So, for example, if you really wanted to do Irish in greatcoats, green trousers, because, you know, they did 2 Irish battalions, it's a really cheeky, easy way to actually have different nations and have a big force. So you can make them a little bit different. So, you know, it is possible to do it. So I would say, because I'm a French player, of course. And it's the easiest way to do it. But if you want something a bit more challenging, you can go with like something like the British. They've got a lot of red and white. They're quite difficult colours to get right together without messing it up. Definitely, for sure. But it's all about research. Like you got the Prussians. they're quite straightforward to paint. Someone had a Prussian. A bit
boring.
Yeah,
actually, that's a nice. It's a question about painting Prussians. So do you gentlemen feel like you force yourself to paint every week because you now do the podcast? I sometimes lack the motivation to paint my Prussians. No.
Oh yeah. I definitely. There's certain times when I think to myself, I need to paint because I've got video to do or something like that. And then what I end up doing is playing on the computer instead, because you can't force yourself to do the hobby when you don't feel like it.
No.
The channel generally does encourage you, I think. It certainly doesn't mean.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, 100%. It does. Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And coming on here on a Monday, if I don't say I've painted 1,000 figures, I feel under pressure. So.
Yes.
Yeah,
peer pressure.
It's quite nice to put that pressure on you, to be fair. It is quite nice. But in regards to black powder, like I say, you just need the rule book. But also, if you're like solo gaming, that starter set is really good because you could do both forces, and then you've got 2 small little forces together. You don't technically need the command if you don't want to, play with the command. As long as you've got the right amount of figures, like I'm doing with my Austrian Landwehr. I'm not putting a command base in with them. It looks nice, don't get me wrong, but you don't technically need it if you don't want to use it. You don't have to. I know people will probably very much disagree with me on that, but your models, you do what you want with them.
Yeah.
But definitely plastics as well. Perry's, yeah, they're lovely. Don't get me wrong as well. Don't go on to the Perry's website, see their army deals as well, and then go to a third-party retailer for your rule book. And like I say, we're painting, it's contrast paints all the way with a wash over the top, and it just looks awesome. It's wild. Martin agreed because Martin got me onto this. Wildwood for muskets. Paint the whole musket in wildwood, even the metal parts, and then just go over the metal parts after the wildwood's dry. It saves you so much time. So much time. It's unreal. I used to try and avoid painting the metal part, and then I was thinking, why the fuck am I doing that? You don't. It's little things like that. You think, well, why am I doing that? 'Cause I'm just going over it with a metallic anyway, and it's a dark metallic, so it's not going to matter. And if anything, it works better because you're going over a darker color than like a cream or a grey, a light grey. So yeah, that's me in that regard. You guys got anything else to add from Napoleonics? Would you say?
Don't worry at the start about mixing brigades with cavalry and stuff like that, because like obviously the books want you to field like cavalry brigades on their own and things like that. But unless you're playing on a massive table, or you want to do that's fine. But I just always just add them as just an attachment to a brigade. I'm not bothered about that, because if I have some. Exactly, yeah. Or I mix my cavalry brigades up. I don't, I have light cavalry mixed with heavy cavalry because I don't want to sit there and paint. I don't want to paint cavalry anyway, let alone 2 of each type.
Yeah, it's one of those. And skirmishers are always nice because you can use them with different bits and bobs. So remember to check out my video on my channel on the front.
Oh God, he's off again. I think one thing I'd say add to that, Ken, is about the kind of composition of your force. I always find something like black powder is really good if you kind of decide I'm going to do a division from or a brigade from the 4th Division at Waterloo, for instance, and just pull together, and then you've got a guideline to follow.
Oh yeah, order of battles.
So, follow the order of battle, whether it's whatever the nation is.
Yeah.
It just helps in terms of clarifying what you need, and then because you can start with the small brigade, maybe 2 or 3 regiments in it, and a gun and a commander, and that will give you enough to at least play a game, and then you can build up from there and add maybe another brigade, and then, as Martin said, add some cavalry if you really feel like it.
I would say one more tip: if you do an order of battle, do not buy every single miniature for that order of battle. Buy them in small little segments, unless you're Dom, unless you're a fucking machine that can just bash out 24-man battalions in a day.
I mean, if you're a wuss, you do it that way, but that's fine.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. The most I would go is a brigade at a time. I'd buy a brigade at a time and say that's quite comfortable to do.
I do. Honestly, I agree. A brigade at a time is a good, sensible thing to do. If nothing else, it gives you a guideline, and you know that once that brigade's finished, you're going to be able to use it.
Exactly.
And there's nothing better when you're getting into a game is to actually get out playing with it on the table.
You can have a good game with a brigade. You can have a good game.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah, so the question here from GP: so would you classify Black Powder as a starter game? I know they do starter sets, but it's not exactly small skirmish. Introduce a mate at your house, right? It's a big layout to get the look you want. So would you class it as a starter game?
Yeah, I would. The box set, man. The Waterloo box set. That's a starter game. That's 100%.
I think you can. I think you can, because you can always scale down the regiments, so you don't have to do a 24-man battalion. You could make them 12s.
12-man battalions, if you wanted to,
and still have a decent game, because you don't remove figures or anything. It doesn't really matter.
No.
So, I think there's a theme about Napoleonic games being a little bit sort of high entry level, but I don't actually think Black Powder is. I think it's not too bad at all.
No, Black Powder's not. No, and like you said, it's like the scale. As long as the frontage is correct, it doesn't matter. You can even just do 6-man. You can do 6-man if you really want.
As long as you're matching what somebody else has got. So if your opponent's doing 6, that's fine.
You want to try the rules out. It works like that.
The thing is, it's the number of men is irrelevant. It's you could have 1 man on a 65. It's just the width for the base. That's all that matters.
It's the rule of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, you could have. I've seen some cool bases that people have done where they have done like a base of people that are hit by canister, and it's just a base of casualties.
Yeah,
and they put it in there in their unit.
I started mixing casualties in, and it does look nice. It adds realism. Then it adds a bit of. It makes the battlefield come alive as well. It feels like it's a live battlefield, which is even nicer. But I'd never ever. This is one tip I'll give you. I would never ever follow the 36-man battalion rule when it comes to Black Powder. I will use 24-man every time. And then I'll use 36 for a large unit. I won't do a 36-man unit and a 48 for a large, because it just economical sense. 24-man looks absolutely fine. It plays absolutely fine, and you get more battalions per the box set you buy. You always end up with an extra battalion compared to if you did it at the 36-man battalion. So you get 5. You normally only get 4 with one of those starter armies, but you get 5 if you do it in 24-man. And that's what I would do, 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
Sweet. Any other game periods or eras, gentlemen?
Have you got one, Dom, or do you want me to?
You can start. I've just got glue in my mouth at the moment, so you start.
That's not a good thing. Why are you doing that?
It's not super glue. I should be able
to.
So
I'll go, because I've been asked loads of times about this, and I keep on promising to do a video on it. I just haven't. So I'll go to Wars of the Roses and medieval stuff, because obviously I do the Wars of the I play the Wars of the Roses, and I'm using Hail Caesar, which is pretty much the same as Black Powder in terms of system. It came out after Black Powder, so they tweaked quite a few things in there, and then the second edition of Black Powder then contained the tweaks that they've made in Hail Caesar, especially when it comes to Commanders. I guess, the things with the great thing about medieval warfare and ancients, although people are crazy, is a lot of people don't actually know. You don't know like what they were, so you can do what you like, really, and no one's going to be able to argue with you. We have broad ideas about the size of armies, but those figures are usually inflated. It's probably quite unlikely that there were 60,000 people fighting at Towton, because that would have been like 2% of the country's population. What I would say, if you want to get into it, so if you wanted to get into Wars of the Roses, because I have a lot of people sort of ask me about this, you've got really two ways you can go. You could pick a battle and go, I'm gonna play the Battle of Barnet, for example, like the lovely picture behind me, which I'm going to hang this week. You just have to then pick your side, and you could go, right, I'm going to completely do a Lancastrian army, and I'm going to put these 3 commanders in it, and I'm going to fill out all of their troops. Or you just go, I'm going to, which I think is what Dom's doing. He's picked pretty much 1 Lancastrian, and he's just going to build out his forces, which is effectively the equivalent of like a brigade, if you like. And then he's got that. He can make a couple of lesser commanders in there, so it can function on its own, basically, and it can detach. The great thing about the Wars of the Roses is there are so many battles and personalities that you can adopt, who can be commanders in one battle and just knights in another battle. So if you wanted to get started in it, I mean, the Perrys make the best plastic. I mean, they make the only plastic Wars of the Roses miniatures, and their sets are brilliant. Those 5 sets, it's the mercenaries, men at arms, heavy cavalry, light cavalry, and bill and bow. You get so much mileage out of those. If you can then scatter in some front rank or some of the new Athena models for a bit of flavour. But to be honest, the kit bashing potential, if you want to start mixing up, just getting some different people, what you can do with mixing some of their metals or just taking some of their plastics is fantastic. If you're using Hail Caesar, there is no source book for the Wars of the Roses, and there's only 1 army list for the medieval period, for the 100 Years' War period, which is in there. They released like an army list book, which covered like about 2,000 years, like 1000 BC to 1000 AD. So you have to kind of abstract. But the rule book has, which the Black Powder one didn't, it has all of the stats like light infantry, medium infantry, heavy infantry. So you've got to go, effectively, if you're happy to sit there and classify your army, you can play, which is effectively what we've done. So it's a bit more of a project. That being said, if you wanted to get into more of a skirmish late medieval stuff, there's Nevermind the Billhooks. There's Lion Rampant, which can be pretty much any period of medieval history. And then there's the one that Dom backed, Baron's War. So the medieval period is pretty well covered by rule sets, to be honest, but I haven't found one for large scale, which I prefer to using Hail Caesar at the minute. There's a couple I've got to try out. Impetus. I've seen Batamax just say King's War Historical. That's one I've got to try out as well. But pretty much everything Ken said. But the great thing about the Wars of the Roses is if you pick, they all change sides so many times. There's no right way. One thing I would say is I see loads of people, and they're all amazing paint jobs, right? And they paint all the livery on everything, even down to this. But ultimately, those commanders probably wouldn't have. A lot of people would have just won the badge, but he'd have dished out his badge to people at the start of the battle. So you can just get that on. So if you want to paint your stuff up a bit agnostic, so you could use it you could just swap in commanders, and you could play for either side. That's something else that you can do. So a bit like I think people have done that for the English Civil War. So that's an option for that. But yeah, Wars of the Roses, I'd just say just buy some of the Perry sets and go for it, because you get 40 models in a box. And again, it's just up to you to decide a frontage with your opponent. We've decided on a 65 mil frontage and 3 bases for a standard unit. So and then just cram as many figures as you want. So some of my things have got 4 models on, and I managed to get 9 on one base for a proper crammed in loads of bill and bows sticking up. So yeah, so that would be my recommendation for that. And but there are a couple of other systems that you can try out, and it's well worth having a go, especially if you like knights in shining armor.
Medieval's definitely having a real boon at the moment, isn't there? There's a lot of medieval rules. There's a lot of medieval figure sets from. I guess the thing I would say, Martin, just to get your view, is about the sort of different versions of medieval and how hung up you should get about them, because the early period is very distinct to the later period in terms of armor styles. But I mean, if you're playing a friendly, you can swap them out. It doesn't.
Yeah. If you're playing a friendly, I mean, ultimately, a peasant is a peasant. So, like, a guy with a bow, and it's like, so for example, if Ken ever finishes his 100 Years War army, then it's not done. It's not done. Then he can, the Wars of the Roses, followed on. A couple of years later, so it's likely that in the armor, they didn't just all of a sudden issue new armor. They didn't just go, it's handed down, and there would have still been, certainly for a long time, you'd have had that armor would have been seen on the battlefield. So unless you can afford to buy new armor, so I wouldn't get too hung up on it. If you want to try rule sets, it's I wouldn't let that happen for any period, though. To be honest, I would never get hung up on the way something looks to stop me from trying it.
No, agreed. You do hear a lot. I mean, I remember I showed off a game once on one of my channels, which was, I think it was never mind the Bill Hook jobby, and I had some Barrymore figures, and people said, "Oh, that was the wrong period." It's like, get over yourself. But I hadn't expected to see it really in that period, because I always thought medievals were a bit more, Napoleonics. I could see it, and obviously if you put your Medi pack on the helmet of a figure that never had one, then you deserve it, frankly. But
Dom, you wound me.
No, it does exist there. I mean, you get a lot of people who get very, very hung up on like livery colors and things like that. But a lot of the flags that are made that will go print are only made are people's best guess through descriptions rather than obviously there's no photographic evidence. We don't have the bloody things. The coats of arms are fairly easy to get because a lot of them were made Knights of the Garter, and family coats of arms are handed down. But when it comes to those big swallowtail banners, it's only a couple of those that they know. They don't even actually know if they were even used in the battles. It's just assumed because someone said, if you got one of those, because and you're on horseback, the bloody thing would pull you off.
Oh, you
if it got winded,
wouldn't you?
Yeah. That's it's just go with what you think looks cool and what you want to do. If you have an idealized version of medieval warfare, then go for it. Just don't stop it from having fun. What's this?
Great.
I don't think you mentioned where you got your mod. It's so the Perry. So Rick Priestley wrote a quick set of stats for the Wars of the Roses, which is on the Perry Facebook page. If you go and have a look in their albums and you find some of the Wars of the Roses battle, they usually post up. So we used that for the first time, and then we've now altered it to suit us. So because there was no medium infantry in it, which we found you sort of needed basically. So we use that a few games, and then what we've done is we've now gone a little bit further. But I've had a bunch of people say, can I share what we've done afterwards, which I do intend to do, just as this is what we've used kind of thing.
Cool.
Nice.
Dom, anything from you? Any hints and tips and advice?
So rather than a period per se, I'm going to talk more about a system. So sharp practice, I think that's one of my favorite rule sets out there, and it kind of goes to the heart. Somebody was talking about earlier is in the chat about size of armies and things. Obviously sharp practice is a sort of skirmish level game, slightly bigger than a proper skirmish, but it's still a small scale game. So that is a really good entry level for people. And I think as a rule system, it's very, very good because it's, if you've played any of the Lardy games, it's very much about character and, atmosphere and scenario based activity, which is good entertainment. It's also pretty affordable to do. And I'm all about saving money, Steve. It's important to me to not splash out too much plastic in one go. But you can buy the Sharp Practice rule set. It's got all the army lists you need in there to start with, and those that aren't in there you can download for free from very helpful forums that have them all. And the rule book will cover, from French Indian Wars all the way through to the American War of Independence, American Civil Wars even, and others in between. So it's got some really good rule sets in there that allow you to play a lot of things. And if you went for late Napoleonic period, you want one box of Perry infantry, which a British infantry box gives you 40 figures, I think it is, something like that, which is pretty much all you're going to need to get cracking with the Sharp Practice game, because you probably need, about 40 figures aside to get a half decent game underway. So the rule book, a box of Perry figures, and if you really feel like you want to splash out, get some of the Sharp Practice cards, and you're good to go. So I think that's a really good one. And I play Sharp Practice in French Indian War, I play American War of Independence, I play Napoleonics. I saw Travis, our mate Travis at Table.cp was playing American Civil War on it as well. And I think that's a really, really good system. And I actually really want to play that. It looks really exciting to play at that scale, because the rifle ranges of the foot soldiers is enormous. Also, Martin like it because you don't need to have any cavalry, which is lucky.
Yep.
Never get around to doing them. So cavalry isn't terribly effective in Sharp Practice because it is a small scale game. They don't really have much function in it. So I think that's a really good one. And again, you can pick up loads of different manufacturers, Napoleonic, sort of French Indian Wars, American Civil War, American War of Independence. There's so many rules, so many different manufacturers out there. And I think the other thing to talk about on kind of getting started is that you talked about uniforms and color schemes and stuff like that. Don't get too hung up about it. There's loads of rules. Don't go off and buy the most expensive books you can find on it unless you really, really want it for your library. Go and have a look on the internet. There's loads and loads of free resources that will show you nice, interesting pictures of uniform styles. Now, sometimes you have to do a bit of deciphering. This unit that I was hinting at that I'm painting at the moment, I spent ages looking at various versions of photographs, because it's Napoleonic, so it can't be photographs, but looking at various images of this unit, and the various variations in colours were quite extreme. But at the end, you just up for rule of cool and go for what you want. So again, don't get too hung up on it. So I think, I certainly used Sharp Practice as a really quick way to then build up a force that I could use also in Black Powder. And now muskets and tomahawks and its variant shakers and bayonets is around. It means one force that I built for Sharp Practice and then expanded out to be big enough to play a brigade in Black Powder, I can also use for muskets and tomahawks or shakers and bayonets. So it's kind of a good multi-use of a unit, which I like. Although both those systems you need casualty removal, so you'll need to put them on. You don't have to because you can use markers, but it's a good idea too. So I mount all my figures now. I used to do it on circular bases, but I've discovered the beauty of 20mm by 20mm square bases, because they sit together so easily, and then a little tray, and that's perfect for Black Powder as well. So it kind of just works really well. So I would certainly recommend Sharp Practice if you're looking to get into it. I think it's a really good system, good fun.
Great stuff. I actually find that really, really enjoyable. Consider me. I've been trying not to get into War of the Roses stuff.
Yeah,
because it's just another game system, but I do like the look of it. I think the colours and the banners, it just looks. But I'm trying to show some restraint.
And everybody is an arsehole.
There is that as well.
There is that. It's as you said, they are all just sociopaths.
It's Game of Thrones, but real.
Well, I hope everyone in the comments picked up. picked up some nuggets of wisdom from that. Now I found it really interesting. Some great ideas.
Good stuff, Steve. Good stuff.
Right, I think it's time to look at some nice pictures of people's models.
Oh yeah,
sounds like a plan.
So up first we have some AWI from Andrew. They're lovely. They are. Nice. They're really, really nice.
That's Perry's again.
I was going to ask. Is that Perry?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's Perry's. Very nice indeed. Really nice.
Got the basing on that as well. Just everything about that is just a lot. What I like about it is it's the sort of the drabness of it. There's something a bit real life about them.
They do look like, oh shit, why are we here at the moment? Don't they? They really do. Like you would imagine, sort of poor old conscripts or whatever going up for their first battle. You think,
there's definitely something, crap your pants scary about that. Up next is something Martin will appreciate. More cracking work from Andy. We got some Polish Cossacks.
Oh, I saw those. He was inspired because he used nail art transfers, didn't he, to do all these different patterns on the horses, which is amazing. I really like those. I think they're wicked.
Lovely.
I've done a bunch of Cossack cavalry in 15mm, but those are amazing.
I have just the colours and the basing works so well as well. The basing's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, really nice, really nice. Is that a mixture of static grass? I don't know how he's done. Is that you guys use your applicators? You think he's used that?
Yeah, it looks that way.
2mm and tufts. Yeah.
I must get myself one of those one day. I'll probably electrocute myself with it. That's the problem.
That's some cracking work. Up next, bit of bolt action from Bjorn. Some NKVD.
Okay.
Oh, nice blue, man. That blue.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Blue. I like that unit. I really do. I got that box set. I really liked it. They're lovely models.
I mean, for metal, those poses do look quite good as well.
Yeah, they are.
I can't believe I just said that.
Quick clip that one. Please said something good about metal figures. What's going on?
I'll go and wash my mouth out with brake fluid after that. This is I picked this just because it's just so. It's a bear.
What?
Is that Jim? Was that
It's Jim. Yeah. It's just something completely.
Here we go back into the weird land again, aren't we? What the hell?
Oh yeah, you haven't even asked about my badger. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention my badger thing.
No,
it's fine. I was going to say the best part about my holiday away was obviously I got to stay away, but the pub that Laura booked us into was called the Badger, and the first thing I thought of, I ate in the Badger. It was absolutely brilliant. I nearly wet myself when she told me that. It was great, and I thought of you, Dom, straight away.
Dom, you're
being
being
haunted. Did they have a Badger beer? I love a bit of Badger beer. That's nice.
They did have a Badger beer.
Badger Brewery, yeah.
Badger Brewery is beautiful beer. Very nice.
So up next, we got some vampires from Lee.
I like those.
The skin tones on them are fantastic. Really, really good.
Are they the new ones? Are they?
No, they're newish. They were for Shadespire or whatever that game is, and then they can be used obviously in the new Soulblight Gravelord army. But yeah, they are cool.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
And up next is, especially for Dom, it's Rob's Turnip 28.
I mean, I kind of admire the figure. I think he's done a brilliant job, but just I keep going, why? He's got a spade on the end of his lance. He's got hair coming out the horse's.
Yeah, there's all the roots coming out the horse's head.
It's like, why? Just why? I mean, even a badger I can armed with a. Hang on, I was going to say something really weird there. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to have another beer and shut up.
And there's some more Baron's War Spearmen from Steve.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Lovely job, those. He's drilled out they give. It's one bad thing with those Baron War figures, I think, is the weapons they give you. They're freaking awful. They bend like they're
About,
such soft metal. They bend like crazy, and he's swapped them out for proper Martin killers there. You can see.
Yeah.
That green's really nice. It's like
Yeah.
a turquoisey green, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
so really nice. Really good.
Up next is one for Ken.
Oh yeah.
From Tony, some French Napoleonic and greatcoats.
That's how you want to do it. See, great coats. The 36 man, he's gone with that one. Yeah, nice man. 6. See, that's what you would do if you're doing 36. Is you do all 6 as Grenadier and then 6 as the light company as well. But nah, they're 60 by 40s, isn't they?
Yeah,
Look like that way.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're 60 by 40s. Yeah.
And he's being clever because you can see there's a couple of them got 5 in there, and he's put the mounted officer in with 1 as well to max it out. It's really clever.
Yeah.
Maximising your figures, really good plan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Top work, Tony. And we're
Shame
going to
it's
finish
the
off with
wrong
some.
nation, though.
Going to finish off with some more scenery from Warren for Rangers of Shadow. Is it Rangers of Shadow?
Yeah, Rangers of Shadow Deep. Shadow Deep, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Look at that.
Huh?
Ruins. These are 3D prints, aren't they, as well?
Yes.
Are they? Very nice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's absolutely cracking
Really,
piece of
really
work there.
nice.
That is sweet, man.
That is really good. I mean, you wouldn't think that was 3D printed, though, would you? I mean, you'd say that was like a commercial
resin.
kit.
I'd say it was like resin or something like that, you know?
Holy smoke,
Really.
3D is so good these days, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just so good. But the stuff you used to get, and you could see all the lines on it. It was just horrible. Nowadays,
I know we haven't really touched on the news, but there's something that appeared in the Warlord Games newsletter this week that I found very, very interesting. Plastic Commandos.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah, I did see that, actually. Yeah, they're doing Commonwealth / Commando kit. Isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah, so it's both, which is really cool.
So that's the next plastic release is going to be Commando. So what I think I might have to do is get a box of them and a box of British Infantry and kit bash to my heart's delight.
Yeah, the thing is, they'll scale really well as well because they're going to be the same sort of like chests and all that jazz. So you kit bashing potential again, new weapons, new arms, and all that jazz. It's gonna be very cool.
Watch out, Steve's going commando.
Yeah. I've actually got 3 separate pieces of news.
Okay.
Just thing like that. If that's it. So, but I know Paul posted about this earlier, but I was already looking into it. There's a new skirmish set of rules out, which might intrigue people, called Rain in Hell.
Yes.
And it's by Adam Loper, who's the Tabletop Minions YouTube channel. And the other chaps, Vince, he's got a YouTube channel as well. So it's like they're available. I think you can get them to download off War Games Vault, and you can also get the PDF and order a book. But it's basically, I think, the way I describe it, I don't know how the system works, but effectively you're running a campaign. You make whatever, it's miniature agnostic, so you can make whatever you like. You make your demonic forces, and you're going to take over hell in the campaign and just sort of run it the way you want to, basically. So I think there's going to be some awesome kit bashing and conversions and all sorts of horrible looking stuff. But yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting.
You could have
That looks like
an otter devil. Otters is like the demon otters as being like demons of hell with like a badger overlord. Oh my god!
Crossing the stream now, you really are. That looks like one of the album covers of one of the bands that you two follow. So obviously that one, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I sent you a band to listen to yesterday, didn't I, Steve?
Oh,
we keep
yes.
We don't do it on the main chat anymore because you two just like either moan or don't say anything. So we don't send anything on there anymore. So we just send each other bands separately.
You know, Martin was quite odd about that. When you sent it to me, I put it on YouTube on the telly, and you know there's that intro to that.
Yeah.
For some reason, my girlfriend said it reminds her of the Mamas and the Poppers. I got no idea why.
It definitely wasn't them. It was quite a long intro. Is that a 3.5 long intro? It was good. It was good. The next thing is I think some of you might know I've talked about this before, and Carl, our sponsor, very kindly sent me the models. But Moonstone have got a Kickstarter starting next week for like their next expansion, which effectively is going to put a campaign system into the game, and I think it's a fairly small Kickstarter. Basically, it's going to give you a book, some updated cards, and the exclusive mini that comes with it, which is this thing, which is massive.
Wow!
With some kind of crazy fairy taking off. But it's I'm going to do some Moonstone content. I've had a couple of games of it just so I can get the system, and it is very quirky. I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not a serious game, but no, Carl very kindly gave me the rule book and some models, so I'm going to be putting some stuff on there. But I assume that there will be options in that Kickstarter to get the rule book and obviously get past models. And the other one is, I'm going to touch on it because I saw these, is Games Workshop released they looked through, I think it was yesterday or the day before, what's going to be in this new starter box for the new Age of Sigmar. And they've got, so ignoring the new Stormcaster turns, they've got new Orcs. And I was really impressed with these Orcs. I really like these.
They've changed.
I really like. They just look mean. I mean, they're called the Cruel Boys, but yeah, they got. I feel a lot more like 80s fantasy,
yes,
they're more human, aren't they?
Well, their proportions are a bit weird because I've seen some people commenting on it because they've actually got they remind me of the apes from Planet of the Apes. They've got really short legs but quite long, triangular, pinch. Yeah. So I imagine them kind of walking like that, but they've got like some quite. I personally quite like them. They're quite. They're a bit more sort of 80s fancy. They're not goofy. They're not caricatures of.
Do you know what they remind me of? The Orcs from the Fighting Fantasy books.
Yes, yeah, that whole kind of. I mean, this is the lead. This is the leader. Like. Yeah. It's just quite cool.
People are either going to love that or they're going to hate it.
Yeah, but then but I think, and friends of General Haig has said it in here. They're very Tolkien-esque. They're very, things. I think they are really nice. I don't know if they've listened, but yeah, someone did a comparison. They just put a picture of it next to one of the normal Orcs, and I think the Orcs models are. They've always managed to get some of the coolest poses, and they, because they could be a bit comical, but they haven't gone that route with these. I mean, apart from this guy here, because I was reading it, that little thing with him is called like a stab. It's just a little guy that like goes and stabs people for him when he's there. But I'm quite impressed by them.
Serious, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. So they're going to be in the new starter set in the new thing, which I assume will end up being limited release. But I'm quite impressed with those, to be honest. I think that they're pretty cool, especially for Orcs. So there's my bits of my little bits of news.
They look really interesting, I have to say.
Bottom of the screen now, you'll see the code for your 10% discount at the podcast sponsor, Mez's Minis. A fine line of V&V and Avonpost miniatures, as Ken can vouch for. Dom, what doesn't Carl sell?
He doesn't do any busts, apparently. Martin Assisi does, but he doesn't.
I have never.
He does not.
It wasn't me that said he did busts. It was you that said he did busts, and I said he made flags to whatever people wanted. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do
flags or busts.
There was one other bit of news that come out. It was to do with last Thursday. There was a book.
Something happened last Thursday about a book. Some book.
Harry's book.
Harry's book.
Do you know what? I did actually. It must have worked. Subliminal marketing must have worked for me because I actually downloaded it as a Kindle. And as the Audible at the same time for £3 extra. It's actually really good. I'm enjoying it.
I've used one of my credits to.
It's actually really good. I'm really enjoying it.
No, I've got it lined up for after I finish this one, which is proving. I don't know about you guys, but I try so hard if I've got an Audible or a book like to finish it, I won't be beaten. But recently, I'm getting beaten by books because I have limited time on this planet, and this is crap.
Yeah, I'll tell you one though that's really cheap in a minute on there. I told you about it, Steve. It's the German perspective on D-Day. It's £3 at the minute. The first book on Audible.
That's quite grim, isn't it? I've got it as a Kindle, and it's quite a grim read.
Oh yeah, 100%. Listening to it. I'm on the last beach now. There's a second book which I've already used a credit to do, but yeah, I love it. I think it's really, really cool.
Really interesting.
It might make you want to paint Germans again, Steve. So, there's also reference stuff in there. There was they were talking about Panzerfaust on the beaches and stuff like that. So that'd be interesting.
That's an interesting thing from Miller. Did you hear on a stream that Claymore Castings are doing some musket range at the moment?
Yeah, they're going to be. It was on Medieval Warrior and Bite Size Wargaming. Simon, Medieval Wargaming did a stream with Claymore Castings, and they
I was watching it. I missed that bit. So what is it? He's actually doing starting range because he's always said he was only going to do medievals.
I think so. No, I think so. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Interesting. He did say there's a load more cavalry on the way, which is kind of interesting as well. Not that I need any more medievals. Jesus.
And just a note from Carl that there's the Greek War of Independence available now, Ottomans and Greeks at Mez's Minis.
Cool.
I'm so tempted. I don't know why I have this thing about building an Ottoman Napoleonic army. I just don't know why. Tim on Napoleonic Wargamer channel, he's apparently going to do how to build one. So I might have to watch that.
No, you don't want to, because he will make you buy things.
It will make me buy things, but then I'll buy them anyway, Ken.
This is true. This is very true, Dom. You don't need.
But I'm actually just not quite sure how they'll actually play. I mean, probably terribly, but it'd be quite fun to build.
Yeah, very true.
But I was thinking I could swap in some of Carl's Ottoman stuff in there because I think they don't really change an awful lot, the Ottomans, for several hundred years. So I think I could actually swap in a few of those with them just to make a bit of colour.
Why not?
Anyway, we'll see.
So what's everyone's painting plans for the next 7 days? Anything in particular?
Oh god, I want to do alerts from the Lord of the Rings magazines. I would like to get him definitely done by next week. Character, so I'm going to spend a bit of time with him, and hopefully get this 36-man battalion done for my landwehr for the Austrians. So yeah,
good stuff.
I'm basing up the bastard of Falkenberg because he's been sitting here on my desk painted for 2 weeks. So I just haven't had time to sit and do the basing. Though I think I'm going to be doing a video about it because I keep on getting asked about command bases and things like that. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I dare say that I might paint up another one of those sort of statue warrior things because I've got a few more that I can do, and they're just quite easy. So yeah, hopefully gonna have another game this week at some point. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think for me, I've got some more Victory at Sea ships to finish off, so I'll do them. Then that's all the German fleet finished that I've got. And obviously got to finish off that unit Napoleonics that I'm just about done, and then I'll probably knock out one of these battalions of Russian infantry if I get them made up in time. I don't throw them across the room or drop them on the floor as I keep repeatedly doing at the moment. They're actually not too bad to put together, but I think I've got quite a lot of it's a little bit of preparing them. They're not the best. They're not the newest mold, I would have said. There you go.
Right.
What about you, Steve? What are you up to?
So I'm going to start painting these Victory at Sea American ships. So I've split the box with my mate. So he's got the Japanese fleet, and I'm having the Americans. I'm going to be working on another 6 Landsknecht, these These ones have got the Zweihander swords. And I'm also painting some metal Landsknechts as well, command base.
Cool. Metal? Hang on.
Yes.
There was two things in that conversation. Metal and Landsknechts. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
They're a bit. I mean, to be fair, they're not bad. They're quite nice sculpts. One of them I can't use though because he's in fact Miller. He had his Landsknecht starter box had the same miscast on the guy's nose on one of the command figures that I had. So I'm just going to do a 3-man command base, but I'm also got a couple of spare Landsknechts. I might stick a guy with a banner on there or something, just to give it a bit of variety. But yeah, metal Landsknechts. Never thought I'd be saying that 6 months ago.
You have changed, my friend.
I know. I guess I blame the weather.
I will mention it as well, just to keep the pressure on you. Secret projects, Lee. Don't forget about that. I'm not just a bastard to Martin.
I haven't touched the secret project for a month. I know.
But I don't know what you mean, bastard to me. You've got loads of brown paper bags that you still haven't finished, or you didn't put into clear plastic bags. You just sold your 6mm stuff because you didn't want to do that, and then you sold half your Napoleonic stuff you'd actually bought.
Fine, if it's sold, it doesn't count.
So we're in overtime now. One minute past 10. We're in overtime. So who's will be the fine host next week?
It's me.
Yeah, it's Ken.
Yeah, it's me.
So head over to Ken's channel next week.
Yeah, I shall put links up. Don't you worry about that, guys. And next week I will come up with. Well, I will definitely come up with a different sort of subject next week.
Oh God!
No.
Might make you talk about boats for 2 hours, Martin. That'd be fun.
About what? What boats? I can talk about boats. What am I talking about boats? Yeah. What, World War II boats?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
I'll just go. Oh, no, I'll just go to sleep.
No.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed, because I have zero interest in even though my grandfather was in the Navy, because I have zero interest in World War II naval history.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll find something. I'll think of something and come up with some idea.
Well,
can we just finish with what Battle Matt's just pointed out? Which oh no, it's got away. See, that always happens when I do that. That video.
I can't penetrate you.
I know. Someone said they were busy painting and weren't watching it, and all they heard was me saying to you, "I can't penetrate you." Which is a little off-putting for most people, I would grant.
Dom, can you self-yellow card yourself there, please?
I think I will. I think it's time for me to.
I think we're gonna have to give him a red card on that note.
Definitely a red card for that one. Right, everybody. Big thanks to everyone that showed up and participated in the chat and the comments. Again, big thanks to Mezza at Mezza's Minis for sponsoring the podcast, and a big thank you to everyone that's watching this on the replay. Thank you very much. What's it called of Ultramarines of various systems?
That could be a possible topic choice.
God. Yeah, well,
thanks everyone.
See you soon. See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.